So if you are facing difficult relationship, it is ultimately karma. Relationship issues. There is a lot to learn here, and I can shed some light from my own contemplation. So shall we begin? Shall we say aloud, Jai Ma?
Jai Ma.
Because we need mothering energy here as we go through this. Before you opened your eyes on earth, who were you? Because it's only after you opened your eyes and you looked at the people around you that you decided to have relationships. But who were you when you came in? That's really important. And the Veda in short says you are Atman or self. You are an invisible being that uses your body and mind and intellect as an instrument, but you are an all-powerful entity. And you are also channeling through this one body you call you, but you're also present in every body, every being, every creature. That's very interesting. So it's a non-dual state of existence. There is no other but me. And we'll just come back to it occasionally, not all the time. But the more important point is that you clearly had some relationship already with yourself contained within you before you opened your eyes, yes or no? And then when you opened your eyes, you looked at different people, and gradually you learned to give them names like Mama, Dada, Uncle, Granny. And then it continued. And then you had sweethearts who you call baby and whatever. Okay. Or children. So, or pets, and you have different relationships. I was thinking, what would be the first theme of the relationship class? And clearly it has to be power. I want to talk about power to you today. Because in my long years of learning through my relationship boot camp, I realized that we have relationships to own our power, to share our power, to live our power, to reflect our power, and to accept another's power. It's not about love, it's not about affection, it's about power. Do some of you intuitively agree, yes or no? Because every romantic relationship at the end of the day becomes about who has more power, yes? I have found that if we deliberate upon power and begin embracing it within us and allowing it in another, it starts creating a paradigm for better relationships. But it has to begin with owning your own power. So let me begin. The self is called Atman. Atman is permanent. Atma is omnipotent, omniscient. It has a lot of power. When we have to find power within ourselves in relationship, we have to go back and connect with this Atma Shakti. Shakti means power. It gives us the permission to be powerful, whether we have a degree or not. It gives us the permission to be powerful, whether we have the right career or not. It tells us that our nature is powerful, whether we are beautiful or now dealing with wrinkles. That power is unquestionable, non-negotiable. It is yours, and you must accept it and embrace it and begin contemplating upon my Atma Shakti. Can you say Atma Shakti? Can you say my Atma Shakti? Can you feel it? And if you've not been in touch with your power, I'll tell you, I'll disrespect you, you'll get in touch with your power. I'll violate your boundary, your power will come in. Why do you need something negative to remind you of your power? May I ask a question? This is the difference between spiritual folks and worldly folks. Spiritual folks proactively find their inner gems and use them in worldly life. You have Atma Shakti within you. You are a colossal power, and you don't need you plus X to be powerful. You don't need a person to be powerful. You don't need a vocation to be powerful. You don't need looks to be powerful. You don't need anything to be powerful. Your power comes because of who you are. It's like electricity. It's always powerful. You just need a naked wire to know it's powerful. So you don't have to get naked like a naked wire, so raw and sensitive, right? Sometimes when people have to get really riled up, and then they realize they are powerful. And then it gets addictive to be riled up and to fight and to have war, to experience your power. But I want to say to each one of you that in my learnings of relationship, I realized that one of the number one reason I was suffering in relationship was because I was not in touch with my own power. Can I see hands if you feel the same? Most of us. And we might say, no, I'm very powerful, I'm very assertive, and I know what I want. And think about it. Because when you're really deeply in touch with power, you act from power, you don't just talk with power. How many of you act with power, whether you have approval or not, whether you have support or not? Any hands? I do. Thank you. Few hands, good. Down the road, there'll be more hands. True power acts. Egoistic power talks, threatens, complains, journals, emails, social media posts. It's just a joke. You have to make jokes, right? We are talking about some very serious stuff here. True power acts. And if you really have your power, then people around you will sense it and stop threatening you so much. If you truly live your power. See, power is like that. When you see electricity shining in the sky, do you dare go put your finger in it? Tell me. No. When you see an empty bulb with a naked wire, you know it has power, you walk away. So what happens is when you have true power, it's almost like, I'll talk about this true power being good. It's not never evil. But this power is truly powerful and people sense it. And you don't have to be angry or show your fist to show it. You could be pleasant and relaxed and be powerful. So I'm just giving you ideas of what it looks like. So then you do your thing. And this power, it's Atma Shakti. So this Atma lives in all beings. Can it be manipulative? Yes or no? It will get tarnished by being manipulative. Do you think it would like to be hidden? It won't be comfortable. It's often hidden. So it's a win-win kind of power. Now, win-win power doesn't mean holy two shoes. If you have power, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to start a not-for-profit, you necessarily have to do some charity work, you necessarily have to show how good power you have. But when you're owning your power, you will have no interest in having another person drop their power for you. Does that make sense? And these teachings I have learned gradually. Because what I found was that, at least in the times we are born in right now, Vedas talk about yuga or time periods. This is the yuga called Kali Yuga, where only 1/4 people walk their power, talk their power, live their power. The rest of them are not liking you to have your power. So the general messaging is to disown our power, yes or no? General messaging. It's not just in the Eastern cultures, because I have lived more in the West now than in the East. And I have seen it's not just the women, the men too. It's not just one colored people, the other too. It's a universal disowning of power and also not liking another to walk their power. But if we are going to talk about relationships, have you seen a daisy? Have you seen how powerful it is? Have you seen a rose blossom? Have you seen a weed like poppy? Have you seen how powerful it is? Does anything in the world question its power like we humans do? Tell me. I'm having a very alive garden right now, and I'm noticing. So I'm every day noticing that our bed, the bed where I have different plants, it keeps changing, because sometimes the calendula takes over, sometimes the daisies take over, sometimes the dog flower takes over. They're all powerful, and they're all making way for each other. And just when something has been pushed out, it comes back. They're all sharing the bed. It's an alive, organic, shape-shifting, morphing bed, because this bed, now see the soil. It's the same soil, but when you plant calendula, it becomes calendula. See what power the soil has. Can you see that? So it's that, the kind of soil is the self. You can be and become anything, but what is not negotiable is to be powerless in today's world. I wanted to tell you that. And the power that we want to have is pure, raw, spiritual power.